Hey guys, and welcome to my first devlog for my FPS Survival game. I just wanted to make some devlogs to just keep track of my progress and maybe even get input from you guys to on some ideas how to progress with this project. So this is essentially my first personal project that I'm working on. It's as I said, it's a FPS Survival game, and yeah, as of now, I've just implemented just some basic stuff, some movement, some shooting with automatic weapons, weapon swapping, projectiles, ammo, sprinting, and reloading. Um, I haven't got much animations yet for or any special effects for shooting or sprinting yet, as yeah, it's still early days. I haven't put in a lot of time into it. As you can see, I've got some basic AI as well that shows the ammo counts for both the active gun and your secondary, and as you're swapping it updates as well. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, since this is the first devlog, I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of what I'm planning to where I'm planning to go with this project. So the idea is to make it something resembling Call of Duty Zombies. Like, obviously it's going to be really stripped down. It's not going to be that that detailed, right? Because it is my first game after all. But that's what I'm taking inspiration from. So I'm hoping to have, you know, rounds of zombies with you know, like map elements such as like doors that you can open with points. I was thinking about adding wall guns, but since it is my first game, I decided, you know what, let me just have two base guns and not do anything crazy with like swapping with extra guns and stuff. So I'm just keeping it simple for now, just having the two guns with no guns that you can buy off the walls. And yeah, actually initially I had the idea of having different classes, because I'm also planning to add abilities to this game. So there were going to be different classes with different abilities. For example, I was going to make a Wraith class, which had an ability where you would go invisible for a short time, and so the zombies wouldn't see you, and like if you're getting cornered or something, you could use that to get out. So that's just one example. I haven't fully decided on what abilities are going to be, and the numbers, nothing like that, nothing concrete quite yet, but that's just the idea that I was thinking of. And to implement that, I was actually thinking of maybe trying to use Unreal's gameplay ability system, because I've heard that it has quite a lot of features already built in and it's quite powerful. But since I am starting out, I'm thinking I'm just going to keep it really simple and just try to implement it myself for now. And maybe in any upcoming projects that I'm going to work on, I could play around with trying to implement that. Yeah, so as I was saying, for now it's just really simple stuff. I've got a crosshair and some basic UI. I've got shooting with an automatic weapon as well as semi-automatic set up, and yeah, it's just really basic stuff right now. It's still the early days. So what am I planning to implement next are, well, not next, but like over the course of this project, are stuff such as power-ups. So like in zombies you have like double points, max ammo, stuff like that. Next up, I also want to add some perks. I haven't got any ideas for what the perks are going to be quite yet, but it is something that I want to, you know, experiment with and add in. So there's going to be that. There's going to be an interact action, you know, for interacting with a bunch of stuff such as opening doors or activating like a pack-a-punch or something like that, if that is what I want to implement. And also, of course, we're going to have some enemies with AI, because it wouldn't be a survival game without enemies to shoot at. So that is the idea going forward. And so this is a C++ project. So yeah, in Unreal, obviously you have blueprints and C++, right? So as a part of me trying to learn C++, I'm making an effort to use C++ as much as I can. Obviously with stuff like animations and stuff like that, it's very intuitive just to use the like not the blueprint system, but like the event graphs and I guess the blueprints in there. But for like the player controllers and the player pawn and the guns, I think it just makes sense to make the classes in C++, especially since you can later on use those classes to make blueprint classes, which is actually what I'm doing with for example the guns and the player. We have the base classes for the gun, which has all the basic functions such as shooting, reloading, that kind of stuff. It has also all the properties like the ammo, how big the mag is, the reserve ammo, if it's fully auto, the fire rate, stuff like that. And then we use this base class to make child classes for the actual gun. So for example, the launcher will have its own class, and which inherits from the base class. And also the rifle class also is a child class. And they do act slightly differently because the rifle is a hit scan weapon, so we're just having a gun trace, and that is actually from the center of the camera. So if I press play, you will see that it goes, actually you can't see, but it goes straight from the middle of the camera to like straight at the crosshair. You can't really, but the launcher on the other hand is actually slightly different. Like you can't see it well here because the gun is pretty much centered, but actually what happens is the projectile spawns on the end of the barrel and travels to the crosshair. So basically what's happening is we're having a line trace from the camera to the crosshair, and on the first object that it hits, it makes I have a debugger to show it. It takes that location right there, and essentially using let me show you guys. I have a location for the barrel. If we can go into the viewport. So, sorry, the muzzle I called it. So here we have the gun, but then we also have the muzzle, which is a bit ahead just to make sure it doesn't collide with the gun. So this is actually where the projectile spawns, rather than going straight from the camera, because I think it would look quite weird if it just spawned in the camera and it would just be like a really big disconnect. It wouldn't be very immersive, I don't think. So we're having it spawn here on the muzzle, and as I said, we do a line trace from the camera, and essentially we get the point here and where the muzzle is, and then we, using some C++, we calculate the lookout rotation. Let me just find that quickly. Should be, here it is. So the lookout rotation, so we get the muzzle and the target location, and that basically gives us the rotation at which we want to spawn the projectile. And the projectile itself has a projectile movement component, so we just set the speed at which it travels, and as soon as it spawns in, it travels forwards. And we have also disabled disabled gravity as well, so that it just travels in a straight line. I don't want it to be like an arcing projectile, nothing like that. Yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. So yeah, as I said, it's still super early days. There's no like crazy animations or nothing. There's no map or enemies quite yet, but they will be coming up on the way. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, then just let me know what you guys think. And also I would really appreciate like if you guys, if you want to keep track of how I'm going, if you want to join on the journey with me, then drop a sub, and yeah, let's make some games together. So I'll see you in the next devlog. Peace.